Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here from simpleprogrammer.com. Always got to check to see if my microphone is still working, if I still have batteries in here. I'm actually going to get a new mic, like a Rode Podcaster, like boom mic, so that I don't have to have this wireless mic and lapel, and I can just know it's always working. Today, what am I talking about? So I wanted to talk about a concept I was thinking about that I've talked about a little bit before, about this idea of not comparing yourself to others, right? This is really important to understand. But most people, when they hear this message, okay, what they think of is not comparing themselves to others who are greater than them, right? So traditionally, when people talk about this, and it's a good message, this is a good thing to understand, is you shouldn't compare yourself to others, right? I did this video on only compare yourself to yourself. I believe I've got this video. I've talked about this a lot of times, for sure. And in that video, and when I've talked about this in the past, and when I've heard other people talk about this in the past, mostly they're interested in you not comparing yourself to others that are doing better than you, right? So, for example, if you are making, say, $50,000 a year, don't compare yourself to someone who's making $500,000 a year and think that you're a failure. If you have a Toyota Corolla, and your neighbor is driving a Lexus or a nice Tesla or, an Aston Martin, okay? Don't compare yourself to them, right? Compare yourself to yourself and to who you were a year ago, 6 months ago, 5 years ago. That's the comparison. You should be improving yourself. But I'll tell you what, it also applies the other way as well. Because now, when you compare yourself to someone who's doing better than you, and you use that as a yardstick, you feel inadequate, and you feel like you need to measure up, and that's not good, right? It makes you have the wrong motivations in life. You should be seeking to improve yourself. If you're comparing yourself to other people, and you feel like you should be on equal ground with them as far as what they've gotten out of life, then you're also going to feel like you're a victim if you were dealt a worse hand, okay? And everyone has different hands of cards that they're dealt. But my philosophy in life, and the one that I encourage you to take on into your life, is that the cards don't fucking matter. What matters is how you play them, right? What matters is that with what I got and what my environment is, which I don't get to control, it's a random fucking roll of the dice, I did the best that I could possibly do with that. You see what I'm saying? But without sidetracking too much here, what I do want to talk about today is the opposite side of this comparing yourself to others, which, again, isn't very much talked about, but I was considering this the other day as I was being affected by this to some degree, is what about comparing yourself to people who are less than you, who have accomplished less than you, right? What if you're the guy with the millionaire, okay? Or what if you're the guy with the nice car and you're comparing yourself to the other people who are this guy working at Burger King, or your siblings, or your spouse even, or maybe your coworkers or your friends, and you're like, well, I'm doing so much better than them. What's the danger in that? Now, I'll tell you, the danger in that, besides becoming too arrogant or cocky, which becoming too cocky is not necessarily a bad thing, but the danger in that, the real danger in this, is that you become complacent, right? I'll say it again. You become complacent. What does this mean? So again, I was thinking this. I had a little bit of this. See, every psychology trick that I tell you here, every philosophy that I espouse on this channel is something that I have had to struggle with or figure out for myself. And there's always going to be problems. Or you're always going to have, this aberrant thinking that you're going to have to turn around and make something positive of. You're going to have to remind yourself of the true principles and the wisdom of the ages and correct your thinking when it goes wrong, because your thinking will go wrong. And so I was walking home from the gym, I think, the other day, and I was having kind of a down type of, I just came back from Europe, and and one of the things I was trying to do, my psychology was trying to do to comfort myself, was to try and compare me to other people who were not doing as well. And so I was trying to compare myself and saying, hey, you know what, John? Maybe you shouldn't take it so hard on yourself. Maybe you shouldn't work so hard. Maybe you shouldn't worry. Maybe you shouldn't worry about working out so hard or sticking to your diet or doing your business stuff, because you are already so good, man. Look at these chumps that are around. Look at this guy walking down the street. You probably have a whole bunch of fucking more money than him. You're probably way more successful. I mean, you're a 2-time author. You wrote a couple of books, like all these things, right? And this voice is going on in my head and it's saying, John, just chill out. Like, I mean, you don't have to prove anything or work anymore. You don't have to improve your physique or make more money or grow your business or reach more people. You've already done enough. that you can just sit there on your throne and rest on your laurels. So false. So false. Because I can't, if you're not successful, you can't compare yourself to others because it's not a fair measure, right? You're expecting too much from yourself. They don't have the circumstance that you have, and it's not going to be beneficial to you. But if you are successful, if you have any amount of success, and there's always people you can compare yourself, you can always say, I'm better than this homeless person, right? Unless you're that homeless person, and then you can say, I'm better than this rat. I don't know. But there's always someone lower on the totem pole, right? On the success totem pole, wherever, however you're valuing things or people. There's always someone on the lower end that has less than you that you can compare yourself to, and you can say, well, I'm doing fine. I'm all right. And when you do that, like I said, it's resting on your laurels. It's becoming complacent. It's a good way to destroy that hunger that you have, right? And now where do you go? How do you have to drive again? And the answer is, again, you don't compare yourself to the people who have less than you and say, well, I'm already awesome. I'm already Superman. No, what you do is you compare yourself to yourself and you say, look, I have to keep on growing and improving. That's why I'm still going forward. It has nothing to do, I don't reach the mountaintop, the crest, the summit, and then look down on everyone below and say, oh, I'm so great up here, and I'm glad I'm not you. Because if you do that, right, you might feel justified and feel like you don't have to work as hard anymore, and you've already done it, and you've already made it, and you've already proved it. But you're going to lose the drive, you're going to lose the motivation, and you're going to lose the purpose. The purpose was not to get up above everyone else and stop. The purpose was to be on a continual path of improvement. And so when you're on that path. When you're improving your situation. When you're doing what it's going to take in order for you to reach your personal next level. And when you're not. And the outside world may compare you. They may say to you, look, man, you're awesome. I can't believe it. I wish I could be in your circumstances. Don't beat up on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Why are you even working anymore? Why are you even trying anymore? And they might say, you don't need to anymore, right? But don't listen, because you know when you've put in your effort. I did this video on 9 or above. I'm going to make a fucking t-shirt on this one in addition to the Trusted Process t-shirt, because when you're giving your 9 or above, right? Are you giving a 9 or a 10, or are you giving a 5, right? You don't get to give yourself a buy that you can get off with a 5, right? So again, big danger here in comparing yourself to others, whether you're comparing up or you're comparing down. You have to compare yourself to you, and you have to be not content with being stagnant. You have to continually grow. You have to continually push the envelope in order to improve yourself, not to prove anything to others, not to become better than others, not because of those motivations, but because that there is no comparison. It doesn't matter how high you rise and what other people think, or if you can convince yourself that you're so much better and you've achieved so much more success than others, and now you can rest on your laurels. That doesn't matter. What matters is, where are you currently growing? Are you currently doing what you can? And so again, I had to remind myself of this. I had to say, hey, John, you know what? You need to shut the fuck up. Do not, first of all, don't think that you're better than anyone else just because you've achieved something in the past, because guess what? Today's a new fucking day, buddy. You haven't done shit today, right? You think you can rest on your laurels because you've had success in the past? Well, the past is the past. You could be a fucking tough ass motherfucker yesterday and have done a bunch of shit, but today, if you're a soft, weak, scrawny pansy boy, okay, then that's what you are today. You don't get to carry on your history from the past, right? I mean, those things have strengthened you and made you, but if you stop, if you say, I'm just done, I'm happy with my success, then you will atrophy. Just like a muscle not being used will atrophy, you will atrophy. Your character will atrophy. All of the things that you've built up and become and focus on becoming, they will atrophy. So you got to use them. You got to keep on striving. You got to keep on going, not to beat someone, not to get some monetary goal, not to prove someone wrong, but because you need to improve yourself, because the only way that you're going to find true fulfillment and happiness in life is when you're constantly striving to improve yourself, to maximize your potential. I found this out the hard way in life, I'll tell you now. And so anyway, that's enough for today. I hope you found this message useful. If you did, I've got 2 requests for you, okay? The first one is share this video and share this channel with people. I know that some of it's not politically correct, but fuck that, man. Like, if you think, if you're gonna get through to people, sometimes you're gonna have to ruffle some feathers, okay? So if you think that someone is gonna benefit from this stuff, don't just leave it out here, you know, share it, spread the word. And the second one, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you click the subscribe and click the bell, specifically the bell, so that you don't miss any of these videos. And maybe you watch videos every day from me for a time, or maybe you skip the ones you don't like, and then you're fine. You say, oh, okay, I've heard enough. John says the same kind of stuff. It's improved my life, and I'm ready to go without the training wheels. But you know what? Give yourself a chance. Give yourself a chance. It's good to have a message that is going to positively encourage you and push you in the direction you need to go every single day. I need it myself. Okay, so I want to be that message for you. Click the bell to make sure that you don't miss the videos. And like I said, you can skip. You don't have to watch every video, but you can skip the ones you want. But at least don't miss out on the opportunity. All right, that's all I got for you today. Take care.